everyone, welcome back to our channel. This is Neko and I'm here with my wife Snacks.
Hello.
And today we'll be talking about the Riverside Retreat RV.
So this RV was inspired by your many hours of watching YouTube videos of luxury RVs?
Yeah, that's a funny story. I watch a lot of videos on interior decorating and home design and a lot of tiny home. And I started watching videos on the RVs. Like, some of these RVs are outrageous because, you know, I love camping. I've always wanted an RV. I've always wanted a camper.
Right.
Something.
A glamper, not a camper.
Right. I've gotten too old to sleep on the ground. So I watch a lot of these videos. So yes, this was inspired by those videos. And the idea for it was so strong in my mind. And I knew that, I knew that the werewolves were coming and I was excited about them. And the storyline of somebody camping in the woods, you know, and the werewolf storyline in my head. So that kind of fueled the quickness of the build, I think.
Right, to have it done before that.
I like this spot too, to park this RV, because right next to it, I don't think you can see it in this, but right next to it is a fishing spot, because you're right on the river.
I like how just the wood feeling of everything. Everything's like wood cabinets, wood furniture.
See, that was inspired by one of the RVs that I saw on one of the shows that I was watching. This couple had taken an RV that was already nice to begin with, but they had like made it their own, basically. They had included their own cabinetry, and because they intended to live in it. And I thought, well, if you want to take this and make it, you know, to live in it as opposed to just renting it,
right,
to vacation in it, because people do that, you know, they live, you could make it a tiny home. I believe it's got enough squares to make it one of the 3 options for tiny home.
Right, to classify.
So if you wanted to go that route with it, you could.
Anywhere other than Granite Falls.
Right, since you can't really live in Granite Falls.
It's a destination area, which makes sense on why it would be a rental lot, you know? I don't know. I feel like if you're going to have a high-class fancy RV, unless you're just made of money, that I would live in it as opposed to just having it for vacations. Like,
see, no,
you pay just as much for a fancy RV as you do for a house. You know what I mean?
Especially
like,
with gas prices and stuff these days. But see, I thought I would love to live in a tiny home or an RV or so. I don't think I could. I think the space is too small for our family needs.
I don't know. Maybe if we didn't have cats. I like too that even though it's a small space, like it feels like it's got plenty of the amenities of a home. Like you got plenty of seating in the living room. You've got plenty of seating in the kitchen, you know, like granted it is only a 1-bedroom, but that's all right because...
Right, what if you're only playing with 1 or 2 Sims?
Right. I like how everything too is brown and then you get to the bathroom and it's like, haha, blue floors, blue walls.
Well, the overall color scheme I wanted to go for was the blue, like, you know, and I think the brown and blue look good together.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I wanted it again, that camper, that house camper that I saw, they had nice wooden floors. The thing about camper floors, though, and especially like in the kitchen, they make them so that they're waterproof.
Right, which good, you know, like
right.
Good.
And there's several in a real camper, nice camper like this. There's several layers of floor actually in a camper, like the hardwood or the flooring, whatever they're using. And then there's the layer of like the waterproof stuff to keep it, I suppose, from going into the
grains of the wood.
No, to keep it from going into the engine and the motor and everything underneath, like flooding it out, because you're dealing with sinks and septic tanks and you know stuff like that, like
plumbing on wheels.
Right. Yeah, basically. I also didn't want to overly stuff this place with clutter,
right?
Because for one, it's a small space, and for two, you know, if you're camping, if you use it as a rental, you're not going to put your rocks and your You know, so, I mean, I did leave a lot of the shelves open, like those shelves by the TV, if you want to go in and say, oh, you know, this fossil that I found comes from, you know, Granite Falls. Because that's where this is. This is in Granite Falls. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. I wasn't going to add pet stuff to this because I didn't think that pet things would fit. But then I was thinking about the times that I have played and I've gone on vacation. I usually take my pet with me. And I find it incredibly annoying to go to a vacation spot and there's no pet stuff there. Right. And you have no way of buying it. Like, you can open up the menu, like the buy menu, I think. But I don't think you can purchase. I don't know. I don't remember if you can or not, but it doesn't matter. I included it. So if you bring your pet is set. I don't have a bed.
A pet bed.
A pet bed, because they can sleep on the floor, sleep on your bed, sleep outside. I did get a food bowl, and I put a cat box in the back of the RV, in the back of the
outside.
Lot. Outside, right.
In your vacation pictures from vacations previous. Or as a rental, that's just, like, vacation pictures that aren't yours.
Right, places you could go, I suppose.
Right.
I don't know.
Places that the owner of the rental property have gone to.
Right, because absolutely, in the game of pretend, you can pretend that this, even if you do just rent it, you can still pretend that it's yours and just plop it anywhere you want to plop it and then go on vacation there with it.
Right.
Like, the sky's the limits and the rules do not exist in The Sims.
Right.
I gave our friend Mark a tour of this, and he said that it was a very fancy RV. It is a fancy RV, but they were, you know, him and Bryan both, and we showed both of them. And they said that, you know, celebrity RV, blah, blah, blah. And I don't think that it's a celebrity RV at all. Like, that married couple lived in an RV, and they weren't celebrities. They were just ordinary John Doe and Jane who live in an RV. It wasn't a celebrity RV or, you know, I don't remember what.
Celebrity RVs are going to be like 4 times bigger and like small mobile homes.
Right. I wanted to make it feel like a home, but I wanted to give it the look of an RV.
Right. I think you did a good job because it very much reads as RV camper. You know what I mean? Please let us know what you think of this build. Does it read RV to you?
Yeah, let us know in the comments what you guys think of this one. I'm always curious to know what other people think about these. So leave us a comment. Let us know. Now with that trailer to drag it behind, I had intended to just put wheels on the RV itself without adding that little trailer pool.
Right, to like make your own trailer.
Right, I was going to make my own trailer thing, but I couldn't, like, it just wasn't, it didn't look right. I decided to go ahead and just leave what the game had.
I like the use of the trailers. I think they work well. Like, I think from the side view, it very much looks exactly like I would picture an RV
it reads,
wheel set to be.
It reads RV very well. I also like, too, that it reads, like, with the ground paint that I did, the terrain paint, I added underneath, directly underneath, it's all gravelly. So there was a lot of attention to detail this time, in my opinion. Like, it's not overly decorated, but there's still a lot of, like, little things that I tried to do to convey that this is a real camping spot, you know.
Right.
I think my favorite part of the build is definitely this back part, is the back part with the tire hanging off and the large storage with the lights and the license plate and...
Right, it all reads very much back of RV. I think your choice of props is spot on, really. Like,
what, for the storage?
Yeah, for, like...
Yeah, I was really happy with how it turned out. Like, it looked more normal than I expected.
Right,
for
The Sims.
Right, to look. And that's what those paintings are, those backwards paintings. Those are supposed to represent, like, on a real RV camper, you have those storage areas on the outside of the build.
Right. And your spare wheels and...
Right, and the ladder, like...
And what's funny, too, is that ever since I've finished editing this one, like, I'll be driving down the road and I'll see an RV and I'll check out the back of it just to see how close yours is to it.
So
like,
how close am I?
I mean, it's pretty spot on. Like, I've seen some that have, like, the big window behind the ladder, like, so that, like, there's a
Those
big
are the driving ones, aren't they? The ones where you drive?
You know, I don't remember if it was or not, but, and then we drive past that one place down the road or whatever, and it's got all of those RVs just set up, like, so your color scheme is very RV, very camper, like, at least the outside. I don't stop and look at the insides because
it would be too painful to know that we want a camper, an RV so bad.
We have wanted a camper since
we've been together,
right?
yeah.
I was gonna say, since we met.
It's just not in our cards, but I can have a camper in The Sims.
A pretty spot-on camper in The Sims. Like, it works out well.
I quite enjoyed the detail that I added to the top. Like,
I'm telling you, it's
like the
spot on.
The
air
the satellite, the air conditioning unit, the satellite, the solar panels. Like, I used a lot of reference pictures to make this build. So I tried to make it as authentic as you can make an RV in The Sims.
And for anyone who doesn't know, who's not a builder, to get props to stand up like that, like the wheel and whatnot to stand at the 90-degree angle, you do need the tool mod. I did edit out the use of the tool mod, but it is used in this build. Like,
right, because the tool mod, I'm not going to lie, it frustrates me sometimes. And there was at least, what would you say, like an hour's worth of fiddling with the tool mod to get some of the things.
There was a good amount. And to be honest, like, it doesn't flow through the build to have to stop and use the tool mod. But, like, it is used. And for anyone who's like, how did you get that tire to stand up like that? That's how.
Right. And when you download it from the gallery, it's still going to be like that.
Right. You don't have to have the tool mod for the props to remain in the position that they're put with the tool mod.
Exactly.
So, which is good.
I also thought about if people were going to keep this as a rental, if they brought their family.
Right, more than just the one-bed people.
Right, because in a real RV, you can pull the couches out usually and turn them into beds.
Right, or the table or whatever it is.
Right, you can make beds. But that option is not available in The Sims unless you get...
the Murphy's bed.
The Murphy beds, right. And I didn't want to use those couches in this living room. I solved that problem by adding a tent in the front yard. So if you do have kids and, you know, whatever, make them sleep out in the tent.
Right.
But you can see where I used the little campers stuff, that blanket in front of the tent, and the fire pit is part of the little campers. I don't think I used the chairs from it. I wanted to use things from that pack because it was a new pack.
Right. Makes sense. And showcase some of the new features. Some fireflies in your landscaping.
Right. I enjoyed I liked that they did that they gave you fireflies and dragonflies, and you can even get alligators.
Oh,
right. I didn't put alligators anywhere.
That she's going to tell you about.
Right.
All your landscaping is kind of like not really overly done, but done enough that it gives that very much in the woods feel, like, you know what I mean?
I was actually going for more seclusion than I included because you can see the other cabin in the background. And I was like, man, I don't want that there, but I left it there, whatever. It's a campground, but I wanted some more seclusion.
Right. Some privacy.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching.
We really appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next one, guys.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Are you ready for your snack attack? Could you live in an RV camper? Is it enough space for you? Let us know in the comments. Thanks, guys. Bye.